Hey YouTube, Brian from channel Huckster here. Today I'm going to be finally presenting my Dark Magician deck with its ritual twist. Being honest, this version of the deck is very high risk, high reward. It's already adding more pieces to a deck that already requires a lot of pieces, making it honestly even more easy for your opponent to interrupt and thus hitting your plays even harder. But it's a deck that if it gets going, I would honestly say it's even stronger than the just regular, Dark Magician trap heavy back row. The ritual monster brings a lot of extra interruption, and it's actually a really powerful card, especially in the grind game. So let's just get into it. So obviously playing the Dark Magician Ritual variant, we are playing 3 Magician of Chaos. The other Dark Magician Ritual was a Magician of Chaos Max. If that card was one level lower, I would definitely include a copy of it. The card is incredible. The problem is in this version of the deck, being that it's a level 8 and your deck revolves around level 7s, it makes it a lot tougher to really get that card going. And honestly, you really don't need it. This card brings just as much utility and is really powerful. So I know a lot of people don't really see this card, so I'll explain a little bit. It's just treated as Dark Magician, and whenever a spell, trap, or one of its effects is activated, quick effect, once per turn, you can just target a card on the field and destroy it. Super powerful when combined with Circle, and this monster, if you summon off Eternal Soul, you can just banish and then destroy. You're getting double negation, or not negation, the disruption on your opponent's turn. Your opponent already has a card play they're setting up, and then they activate a spell that maybe they searched off of a Link monster or an Xyz monster or something that really gets their plays going. You can just pop that monster, destroy it. It really just adds a lot of disruption and is really, really good, like I said, especially in the grind game. Definitely the better of the ritual variants. And its last effect that you can summon the Chaos Max version or Blackluster Soldier monster. If it was from the deck, sure, I'd include one copy of that, but because it has to be in your hand, it's really just not worth it. And then, of course, being that it's a Dark Magician deck, of course we're running the 3 Vanilla Dark Magician. And just because we'll get to it, the 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon. We're obviously still running Dragoon. Super good. It's its home deck, so of course we're going to run in that. Not much to say about these cards. Obviously, we're then going to go into the normal summon of the deck, Magician's Rod. Same as before in every Dark Magician deck profile, so I'm not going to go too much into these. Just on normal summon, get your spell or trap that specifically lists Dark Magician in its text. And if a spell or trap effect is used on your opponent's turn, you can tribute a spellcaster to add this card back to your hand from your graveyard. Same thing if you saw my previous video. These are just kind of the body on board cards like before. Magician's Souls, especially good in this version. I will show you why once we get to it, but this card's already good in Dark Magician and its own home deck, and good in other decks too. Everyone knows what this does, but especially in this deck, it brings that extra little level that makes the ritual version at least work a decent amount compared to what it could have been. And then the Apprentice Illusion Magician to finish off the monster count. Again, just to put a body on board, the 2000 attack boost, honest effect for your dark spellcasters. It's nice too, but really that's about, again, the only reason she's in here. I'm not running Jester Confeet. I know I praised him in my last video, and I really tried to make him work in this, but like I said, there's just too much already kind of going on in this deck, so just adding him, even though he's powerful, just really, really kind of bricked sometimes, and it just kind of clogs up an already pretty loud deck. Moving on to the spells, of course, Dark Magician. Of course, we're playing the Dark Magical Circle. Why wouldn't we? Especially in this version, like I said, trigger its effect while you have the ritual monster on the field. You're getting a pop and a banish constantly every turn. Again, really good card, searches out what you need. Soul Servant, of course. Deck needs its pieces, this gets it its pieces, so same as before, it gets you that draw power extra too. Obviously, we're not running the Dark Magician Girl, so the only monster that you're going to have is the Dark Magician to get that draw, but it's still super good just being able to put the card on top and then drawing it. Moving into my ritual cards for this. So I am playing 3 Chaos forms and 3 Advanced Ritual Arts. So everyone already knows what Advanced Ritual Art does. It's been around and one of the best ritual cards. Just if I'm going to ritual summon, you can send a normal monster from your deck to the graveyard whose level is equal to that. You have this in your ritual monster, you just send the Dark Magician, you get the ritual monster out. Chaos Form, on the other hand, when the newer Dark Magician support came out and I was working with this, Chaos Form was just kind of that card that I was just like, it's really not very good. I didn't really like that, it had nice utility in the fact that you could banish a Dark Magician from your graveyard in order to ritual summon the ritual monster. And, you're using Dark Magician in your hand and all that. But I always just kind of put it as a one-of because it is searchable off Rod and Circle and all that. But as time kind of went on, I actually kind of was playtesting with 3, and I actually found that at 3, it's really solid. Magician's Souls, like I said, is really powerful in the ritual variant. Being able to send your Dark Magician from your deck to your graveyard is incredible because along with then having your ritual monster and Chaos Form in your hand, you can just special summon the Magician's Souls, send the Dark Magician from the deck to the graveyard, activate Chaos Form to banish the Dark Magician to summon your ritual monster, and then you could go into like Anaconda to bring out Dragoon using those 2, and then when you have your back row set up, when your opponent goes, you can activate Eternal Soul, disrupt their plays when they go off using the ritual monster's effect. So I actually played testing at 3. It really turned me around from just being like, this card's not really good and just running 1. And to facilitate even more of kind of those ritual searching, I run the 3 copies of Preparation of Rites. So Preparation of Rites, being able to add a level 7 or lower ritual monster from your deck to your hand. Obviously the ritual monster we're playing is level 7, so nice searching out for him. But on top of that, it can also then add a ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand. So this is why I also like running these 6 ritual cards right here, because Apprentice Illusion Magician needs to discard to special summon. So let's say you open up her Preparation of Rites and one of these ritual cards. You can special summon her by discarding that, activate your Preparation of Rites, then you add the ritual monster to your hand, and you then can add that Chaos Form back to your hand, getting back that advantage you lost to be able to summon her. And then again, if it's Chaos Form, now you have that Dark Magician in your hand, you have the ritual monster in your hand, you just go ahead, get rid of him, special summon the ritual, and proceed to do with whatever you want with them. It's really good at being able to get back those ritual cards that you use for cost for other things. Another example, using Magician's Souls, his effect on field, allowing you to send spells and traps from your hand or field to the graveyard to draw. You can send ritual cards, draw. If you drew into Preparation of Rites or already had in your hand, now you just got a free plus because you're just going to add that ritual monster from your deck to your hand, as well as get back the cards that you just lost if you got rid of ritual cards. So really powerful in this deck for that reason. And the last other little just kind of stuff, obviously we are playing Dragoon, so the 1 Red Eyes Fusion for Anaconda, the 1 Secrets of Dark Magic, and the 1 Dark Magic Inheritance. This deck is a 21 card, or 21 spells cards in the deck. So just being able to kind of have this card to search off of like Rod or Circle to just kind of get those pieces. Because like I said, this version requires even more pieces to make it function. Just kind of being able to get that extra off of Inheritance is really helpful. Secrets of Dark Magic, it can be used to ritual summon. Being that it is a quick play, you can't search it off of Preparation of Rites, being able to add it back, so you can't get it for that reason. But obviously with Anaconda's effect, you're not allowed to special summon any more monsters for the rest of that turn. So if you search off your Secrets of Dark Magic, you can set it. When your opponent goes, flip it, ritual summon your monster. Super powerful for that. And of course, it obviously still has its fusion aspects. And lastly, rounding off the spells, we have just 3 Allure Darkness. Still need your pieces, still need to draw. This gets you that. And just finally ending it off right here with the traps. No like huge trap lineup. It's just the 3 Eternal Souls. Being able to obviously, recycle your ritual monster or your vanilla Dark Magician. Being able to just constantly keep bringing them out, using them for bodies for your extra deck. Being able to just, get those disruptions with Circle and the ritual monster's effect. That's pretty much all the back row. As you can see, it's a decently heavy back row constructed deck. And lastly, if you saw my previous video, really only 1 card is going to change from the extra deck. From the fusions, we're running the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, the Dark Magicians, and Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. Of course, you know, these are really just here for your Secrets of Dark Magic. Dragoon, obviously, for Anaconda. Previously, these were all explained, so if you really kind of want to know more about them, the previous video would just kind of get a little bit more to those. Same lineup again for the XCs. Just running the Ebon Illusion Magician, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, and number 11 Big Eye. Nothing's changed, same as I said before. They're more just here for utility. Getting into the links, Link Spider, Imduck, Relinquished Anima for the Link 1s. You know, again, same reason as before. You know, this card was more used just to kind of take Jester Confit off board, but still obviously a good card to just Magician Souls, maybe use its effect, go into Anima, take something of your opponent's. This deck really needs to go first. Unlike normal Dark Magician that wants to go first, this Ritual variant needs to go first. It really is tough to get it going second, but surprisingly is able to break boards if you're able to get all your plays through. But that's the problem, is that it's tough for this deck to get its plays through interruptions. But if you can get through those interruptions, it's actually very decent for kind of breaking boards, and Anima just helps along a little bit with that, being able to take something of your opponent's. Link 2, Preplant Verte Anaconda, Cross Sheep, IP Masquerena. Cross Sheep's the only new card in here. You're never going to be using its Synchro or honestly its XC for this. It's more of the ritual. Again, being able to draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Really nice, because then you can discard your ritual spells, activate your pre-prep, and just get them back, as well as then just plussing even harder. Its fusion one, it comes in handy, but it's like 1 in every 1,000 duels that you're going to be using the fusion. It's really rare that you'll go into most of these extra deck cards, like I mentioned before, but I've done it a couple times, and just being able to get those extra draws and then kind of resetting your hand for when you need to make your plays, it happens. And then for just the higher ones, Unicorn for IP Masquerena, Selene, and Access Code Talker, all the same from before. Interruption on your opponent's turn, can summon out Dragoon and all of your other spellcaster monsters, and Access Code Talker just to finish the game. That's my Ritual Dark Magician deck. A lot of 3-ofs, so a recommendation that you might want to test. I did kind of try using Pot of Desires, because probably about 2/3 of the main deck is all 3-ofs. So you really could get away with banishing a couple copies, but I just kind of didn't really want to do that, because if you lose your Red Eyes Fusion or Red Eyes Black Dragon, it's kind of, you lose your Anaconda play, and if you get hit by Ash Blossom or like a negate, it hurts really bad in this version of the deck, even more than it would before. That's the deck. Hope you guys like it. I'm going to be trying to, with my friend, he's a massive Blue Eyes fan, so we're going to actually be trying to have a Ritual DM versus Ritual Blue Eyes matchup. Since, everybody kind of does the normal Dark Magician and normal Blue Eyes matchup, it'd be kind of nice to see the Ritual variants going at hand. And we're actually even trying to work for a more special version of Dark Magician versus Blue Eyes, so stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys think. I posted a comment in my last video just kind of saying, things along the line of if you guys like the background music that I'll be including in this, if you guys like that I, don't, go so hard into it and say, Access Code Talker, 2+ effect monsters, your opponent cannot activate. If people just kind of like more of the, here's what this card does, it just finishes the game. I try to make it as clear as possible so you guys can kind of read the cards if you, are pausing and saying, well, hey, I wonder why he's playing that. So clarity on that's really important to me. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions, any ideas. Being that I'm trying to kind of build up this audience right now, I'm open to any constructive criticism. So I know I got a couple in the last video, read them, really happy that you guys are doing that. So thank you very much. And like I said, have a good night.